What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player in the game of Risk Global Domination. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube, and I stream on Twitch almost as often. You can check my page for the upcoming schedule. I believe that we've only begun to scratch the surface at the potential for this game. If you would like to support me in my mission to grow Risk into the game I know it deserves to be and meet its destiny, there's a couple ways you can support me. You can join my Patreon. You can join my Discord, get notifications for when I go live on Twitch, and catch the next stream. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me for today's episode. We are playing with Miss Poorly Played herself, Mallorie. How you doing, Mallorie?
AP, wow, hearing you say that live just now was kind of mind-blowing.
I do what I can.
You just
So
made my whole week.
good. Mallorie is a long time fan of the show. I recall you giving me all sorts of YouTube comments for months now, at the very least, right? Can you recall when the first
Yeah.
time you saw the show?
Yeah, so I downloaded Risk March 1st of this year, and I played only bot games for probably about a month.
Why do people do that?
And I have never really played online games with anyone.
Ah, okay.
So this is really new territory to be playing games with real people.
Cool.
Um, Yeah, so I started to get bored with the bots, of course. Um, Started to try to play real people and was losing terribly because, as a spoiler, bots and humans actually play this game very differently from one another.
This is a good thing.
So I had gotten really into YouTube over COVID because I've been working from home. So as I work, I listen to YouTube just to, fill the sound, the, you know, the absence of sound. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I wonder if there are risk videos about on YouTube that I can figure out what I'm doing wrong here. And I found Mr. Slin's channel originally, and one of your videos was recommended. It was your rating on your best behavior with Mr. Slin. So I found your channel probably in like early to mid-April
Cool.
and was learning how to play the game. Mr. Slin wasn't active at the time, and you were, and I started to ask you questions about the game. And to my absolute delight, you were responding to me, which I thought was wild.
I respond to everybody.
I have never watched a YouTube channel where somebody is actually replying to your questions and
Why is that?
engaging with
Why is that
people.
weird?
It's not
Why?
to me anymore, but
Okay.
people should do that more. If you have a YouTube channel, please respond to comments.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah, that's
it,
how I found you. That's how long I've been pestering you with my many incessant risk questions is since about like early to mid-April of this year.
it's funny to me you would say that because if anything you ever asked me stood out as weird or incessant or annoying, it would stick in my memory, but it doesn't. So I'm guessing all you asked was relevant, strategic, sort of, hey, how do we do this sort of thing type questions, right?
Yeah, I remember one question I asked specifically was, in Prague, does it matter what your match is the way Fix does?
Ah,
Because
right.
I did not understand progressive cards at all. So that's one question that I know I asked you, but I pretty much commented on like every video I was watching of yours, because I was so delighted and tickled that you would actually reply back to them.
Well, see, I remember this, and how long from that then? This is obviously the biggest question on my mind. How long from that until you had the idea to do it yourself?
So I started my channel May 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still very, very new to the game. I again, like I I feel like I'm fangirling a little bit, but you gave me the idea to do the channel, and
I'm
it
sure. Yeah.
was Innocent Kittens Waiting on Your Best Behavior.
Right.
Um, I loved that episode. I love Innocent Kitten. I'm like obsessed with her. I think that she is just the most adorable thing. And you were talking about how important it is that more women get into gaming, that you thought she could be very successful. And I was listening to that and I was like, what if I started a YouTube?
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember the whole theme of my channel, the reason I'm poorly played Risk is I noticed Mr. Slyn at the time was never posting losses.
Mm.
And the win videos were very important for me in understanding the strategy of the game, but I was still losing. And I felt like I need to see some games where someone's messing up so that you can identify where that mess up's happening and how to fix it next time. And so I was like, hey, I'm like brand new to this channel or to this game. What if I'm a beginner playing this and you're learning along with me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially since, I was an intermediate at the time. I was not a grandmaster, and there were really only a handful of Risk creators at the time, and you guys were all like super top, like pinnacle of the leaderboard.
Which is odd for a video game anyways, right? Like most top players are not also content creators, right? Or not big content creators at least.
I would have no idea. Like I'm
Yeah.
so new to all of this
Hey, me too,
really.
man. Me too. Yeah.
We're all learning together, Pete. We're
Yeah.
just trying to make our way through life here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in my channel since May 27th, and I only remember the date because that's actually me and my husband's anniversary. I spent our entire anniversary putting my first
Making a YouTube
videos
channel. Sure.
up. He's very supportive though. He helped me with my thumbnails. Originally my first thumbnails, he made that for me. Um, so yeah, it's been what is that? Like about 5 months now.
Well, congratulations.
And I remember commenting to you and Phil both under my new YouTube name, like, hey, this is Mallory, because I wanted you guys to know it was me when I changed my name.
Well, I think I recognize you right away just from the little avatar, right? The little picture of you, right? Even more so than people's names sometimes. That little PFP or avatar lets
Oh
me know
yeah, my
who I'm
my
talking
original
to.
one was me and my little dog.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so one of the things I don't want to lose, because this was a big thread that I wanted to pull on with my conversation with you today, is women in strategy games, women in this game. And do you know offhand, because I know YouTube tells me, do you know offhand what your demographic is between men and women?
Yeah, my demographic is 99% male.
Okay, so I'm similar. I think I'm 98% male. So the
And I think
fact
my 1% is my mom.
So the fact that the split is so marked has to tell you something, right? And I was very sincere in my comment on Kitten's show, and I stand by it, right? I am extremely interested to encourage more women to be active in our game, and I want our community to be welcoming. But I'm not, frankly, I don't have much of an idea of how to do it at this point if the split is so obvious. So maybe the question for you is, what is it about you that draws you to Risk?
Well, I love board games. I'm a huge board game player. And I'm kind of surprised there aren't more women in the game because this is a board game after all.
Right, me
I
too.
have, yeah, I have a friend who is a Call of Duty streamer. Obviously, Call of Duty, very, very heavily male dominated. But there are a lot of women who play that game too. But Risk is such a neutral game, right? Like I'm not into shooting games, but board games are very neutral. I will say, based on talking more about Risk with people, a lot of people aren't familiar with Risk the way they may be familiar with other games.
Okay.
Um, so that's interesting to me. I played Risk the first time about 5 or 6 years ago and immediately was obsessed with it.
Uh-oh. What do you suppose
I
it is?
loved it. And I think it's a unique game. It is very strategy based, which I really like. Unlike, I'll play Monopoly, I'll play Life, but like those are really just roll the dice and what place do you land on. So Risk is different, and I think I liked that immediately. That it really took some thought into what you need to do to win. It's tricky to win. So I wish there were more women in this game. Um there are really, really good women players. This is a 70% game. I got to remember that.
Yeah, don't forget, huh? Well, I let you hold the middle, so it's kind of your game to lose at this point, don't you think?
I know. I feel like
Having a plus five from the first turn, like, come on.
everyone's being a little too nice to me right now. It feels like a trap.
Well, we're gonna let you play poorly all on your own. How about that?
Don't worry, I won't let you guys down.
Yeah, I'm gonna make these
Somebody's
jokes.
gonna just
I'm gonna
go
make
for
these
the
jokes the whole
70.
show. By the way, I'm not going to stop with this because
It will
you're
make people easier to find my channel that way, Pete. So
oh
you're
good,
playing
poor
right into my hand.
good. No, it's quite hey. You don't think I thought about the branding? I have a pretty punchy name too, don't you think?
Yeah, the branding is very important to me. When I got GM, I was like, I will never financially recover from this.
Well, yeah, it's impossible now. You're poorly played. No matter how good you get.
Exactly.
Yeah. No matter how good you get, you'll always be poorly played. All right. Let's dig into that one because that was the other big thing. So it was the two things I wanted to talk to you about. Women in Risk. How do we encourage more women to play? What do you suppose it is about you versus the average woman that you find more appealing? And the other one was this question. So you're hitting on with poorly played Risk. You're hitting on a tradition that we've seen a couple times in this community. We've seen it with Innocent Kitten, right? With Frail Waif, names that evoke weakness almost as a
That's
strategy.
interesting, right?
Yes. So whereas I take the pretty much exact opposite approach, right? The name of my channel is The Kill Pete Strategy. Why is it The Kill Pete Strategy? Because you gotta kill me. So I'm coming at it from the exact opposite end. Like it's almost bragging, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah. So you're now what I would do, which I don't do anymore, but what I would do is if I would be in conversation, in a Discord thread, and the conversation always turns to, well, who's good? What about you is good, blah, blah, blah. And I'd just be like, I suck. But that's, immediately juxtaposed with me with this YouTube channel telling you to kill me. So it's almost like a bold-faced lie. How do you, as Miss Poorly Played, reconcile the fact that at some point you're a GM, right? Currently you're sitting at, was it 2000s? 4,000. Okay, you're
Yeah, I dropped
4,700.
down.
Okay, you were in the 3,000s. Your best rank ever, Mallory, was 2,500. Okay.
Yeah, I hit the top 2,500 like 2 weeks ago.
So out of a game with more than 3 million players, top 2,500 is 0.001% or something, right? So poorly played isn't exactly accurate anymore, right? At some point, it's going to be adequately played Risk or
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you,
yeah.
when I first came up with the channel name, and I thought about it for a long time, I wanted it to be apparent that you were not tuning in to Pete or Phil or Mr. Slyn, people who were already these top players. So I wanted people to understand when they were watching the channel, this was going to be a learn together moment. And I don't think I had any foresight deeply. Now, I must have had a little bit because another channel name I kicked around for a while was Not a Risk Grandmaster.
Okay.
And that was almost what I went with. And my husband talked me out of it. And he said, if you are planning to continue to play Risk, to continue to make these videos, don't you think you might be a grandmaster at some point? Like, wouldn't that maybe inevitably happen? And so I'm glad he had more foresight than I did.
Sure, absolutely.
Because that did inevitably happen pretty recently. So I don't think I was planning to appear weak so much as I wanted people to understand, like, don't tune in to watch me if you want this like high-minded top 10 strategy, somebody who's going to tell you how to get there. Tune in to me if you would like to maybe feel a little bit better about yourself after you've lost a game. and one thing that never really took off in my comments, it is a little bit now, and I'm delighted by it, is from the beginning, I was asking people to roast me in the comments. Like, I really wanted people to watch my games and tell me exactly what I was doing wrong.
Oh, I hate that. It's so funny.
Oh, see, I love it.
And good for you. You're actually coming at this. This is a cool yin and yang thing, right? You're coming at this from almost the exact opposite approach as me. But that's cool, right? You like what you like, I like what I like. So I'm not presuming to tell you that I'm right here. It's just
and one of
very
the
interesting
cool
to
things
notice
about the community, and I think we were just talking about this in Kilted stream yesterday, is, as you know, Pete, there have been a ton of content creators lately.
I wonder why.
I have no idea. It's so weird, isn't it? How's anybody supposed to get this 70%? This is absolutely ridiculous. Look at everyone choking up this board.
Well, why do you think Marin made us go through this rigmarole? He's like, I'm yellow, by the way.
Oh.
He's yellow, in case you didn't read the general chat here.
I did not. How do I get over there? Can I blast through this?
Uh-oh. She's blasting, guys. Oh, it
Anyways,
looks like you're... Oh, no, you're going to do it. And then I started blasting. Oh, no, Mallorie, no. No, not that way.
Do it? Am I going the wrong way?
You missed the spot.
I hate everything.
No, Mallorie, no. Mallorie, no.
I thought I could get the 70, and then I saw Marin had 4 cards, and I was like, if I sit on 5 cards again, Pete is going to lose his mind. I panicked.
So what you do is, in those circumstances, you chain a kill into the 70, right? You kill someone, set, and then get the 70.
I'm sorry. Is there
no, it's okay.
A nice move?
It's
nice
okay.
move. Is there
it's
an
okay.
I'm sorry? Oops. You guys, that was not branding for my channel. This is the kind of bullshit I do in every game.
Oh, man. Am I going to get lucky? What are the odds of this?
Stupid mistake.
What are the odds of 12? What are the odds of 12v16? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let's go. No, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. No, Mallorie, no. It wasn't meant to be.
Who's white?
Who's going to
black?
win?
Who's
going to
Mo?
win?
Mo, who are you? Sorry, guys. Sorry, Marin.
Yeah, what a mess. I also didn't have a set, so me not having a set on 4, I would have won that easily, but
Marin
here we are,
believes
guys.
in me so much, and I'm just trying to get him to let go of the dream. That'll teach you to tell me to play these settings, Marin.
No, it was good. There were good settings. This is so one thing you were saying. Yeah, one thing you were saying about like noticing your mistakes humbly and improving, using that as a way to improve, right? 70 is particularly punishing for mistakes.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, Pete, I watched that final, the one Kilted just did a video on. That was the last FFA. I watched that game live.
Yes.
And I was in the chat being like, Under the Gun has this. It's over.
Totally. Yeah, totally. For sure.
And
You saw,
even
I said it. I was happy for him, right? I was happy for him. I was like, congratulations, Under the Gun.
That was one of the most exciting things. And you are so right. Like there is like almost no room for error in 70%. Black has it. Good for you, Black.
I feel like going for yellow was my best shot to win, not having a set, but it was still a very low odds proposition, right?
You gotta
11 v
try
16.
it.
I had to, yeah, I had to, but here we are.
I mean, I had a set on 3, which is very unlike me. I never even have sets on 4.
Oh no, eh? Not only poorly played, but also unlucky.
Oh my God, super unlucky. I have a video coming out soon that's called I am done with Prague.
And he gets that last
What are
bounty
we talking about before I mess
the
this
end.
up?
That was great. No, it's lost. It's lost to the annals of history, guys. And GG.
But yes, I like recognizing my mistakes, and I will also suggest to anyone who is trying to get better at the game, record your games. I got infinitely better when I started the channel because I was recording my games and I was watching them back. I'm also doing a lot of out loud processing as
Yes.
you play, and it helps so much. So OBS is free. OBS Studio, download it, record your games. You will get so much out of it.
Do you have settings for game 2?
Okay, so how do you feel about a fixed game?
It's your show. The guest gets to
Okay.
choose the settings, as you well know.
Okay, so I'll let you. I'm torn between 2 maps, so I'll let you weigh in on Moonstone Forest or Dracon Fortress for fixed.
Dracon Fortress, far and away better than
Okay,
Moonstone.
let's do it. Let's do it.
I love Dracon Fortress for fixed. This is a fabulous fixed map. Fixed world dom?
Yes.
Okay, and any alliances?
Yeah, let's do alliances.
Right.
I'm gonna need some help.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we have VY, XVZ. Let's see how many folks we can get from the podcast server before we ping elsewhere. The thing we were talking about before you went on your rampage was the appearance of weakness as a strategy in free-for-all.
Well, and I will say, I can't even tell you how many games I've won being the weakest person on the board. There really is something psychological in the game to being overlooked on the map when you are in a really bad spot. And this will also be my little plug to tell people to stop botting out of games. So often I see people give up when it's not time to give up.
Okay, so this one is directed at me because I definitely do
bot
that.
out?
Oh yeah, a lot.
It's not over till it's over, Pete.
Okay.
You never know what these crazy people are gonna do. You're gonna have somebody fail the kill on like 8 different people trying to get the 70 when they're nowhere near it.
Okay.
So don't give up. Like I think Phil just had a video where he has 2 troops left at one point. Nobody kills him and he wins that game.
Yeah, that sounds like something Phil would do. He's
So,
like a cucaracha. He keeps coming back.
Yeah. In the game, sometimes the appearance of weakness can get the target off your back. You know, sometimes you get too greedy and everyone just starts hitting you.
Yeah.
Now my in-game name isn't Poorly Played Risk because this is the only account I've had. This is the account I started when I was, you know, brand new to the game. This is just my name. It's my username on everything. And I tried to change it to Poorly Played Risk, but I can't figure out how. So I failed.
Do you know how to change your Steam name?
Yeah, so this game is connected to my husband's Steam account. I'll
Okay.
have to ask him how he feels about
I
me
can.
changing his Steam account.
No, you can switch it and switch it back. I'll show you how to do it at the end of the show. It's super
Oh,
easy.
that'd
And
be
once yeah, and
awesome.
once you know how to do it, you can use because I need super deep camouflage obviously when I play ranked now, right? And inevitably
Yeah.
even when that happens, someone in the comment shows like that was me. I was pink. Ah, good game, right? It's like, yeah, well, I so for those of you who don't know, it's always nice to remind people that SMG's fair play
Yes.
rules are if you have any outside means of communication with any other player in a ranked game, you're cheating. So don't do that. Now, what I do is I go in very deep camouflage, and obviously, if I see someone I know, I try to avoid them. But for the most part, I don't really see people I know, but people definitely know me. Right?
Yes.
Which is why when I'm playing ranked, a lot of people ask me too in the comments, like, hey, Pete, why are you using alt accounts, blah, blah, blah. And that is a big part of why. Because if you
Well, and
knew
especially
you were,
now, that must be a huge issue for you now.
oh yeah, when I play like any progressive world dom settings and I post a game, inevitably someone will be like, and inevitably it'll be the good player in the game too, right? Be like, oh, I love your show,
Yeah, because they're
yeah,
watching you.
because they're
Of course
watching
they know
me.
what's going on.
Right. So all that to say, I'm not super worried about any risk of my account for collabing, but anyone listening to the show at this point in time, there isn't any sort of hard ban preventing people who know each other, other than the honor system and then the risk of, pun intended, the risk of getting reported later.
Yeah, and oh, could you imagine getting banned? I would be devastated if that happened to me.
Oh, for sure.
I
So what was it?
had somebody. Pete, oh, you are so greedy.
I know, I am. So what was that you were saying about being greedy?
Everyone kill Pete.
No, dude, I can take 3 bonuses on the first round. It's fine.
Telling everyone,
I'll
attack
just
red,
accept. No,
attack red,
Mallory, don't.
attack
No, no,
red,
no, no.
attack
You
red.
would never. You would never. Don't do that. Just be greedy. Be greedy too, and then everyone's happy. Come
Um,
on.
so,
If you
but
could have
yeah,
had that opener, you would have done it too in a million. Right? You would have done that a million
oh,
times out of a million
totally.
times.
I
Yeah.
totally would have. That's the best corner on this map. It's so easy to hold over there. If you had where whites 4 and pinks 2 are, you'd really be sitting pretty. So maybe take that next time.
Are you suggesting I hit white?
Yeah,
This
and
is going to be
pink.
one of those VC on non VC player collabs that the show is so famous for. Pete,
Collaboration.
Pete and Mallory shaking hands. We'll go first and second. It'll be glorious. Yeah, it'll be a glorious team victory.
But it's interesting to think like how things might be different if my name had been poorly played Risk, how other people might read into that. I had an idea to create alternate accounts where their names are good neighbor and bad neighbor, and then
Yes.
just see what the stats are. Like, how often are you getting broken like that? Do people pay attention to names? Like, are
Oh
people
yeah.
even looking? Like, that kind of thing is really interesting to me.
No, same. That's why I thought Frail Waif as a risk name was so brilliant. Right? It was the before I even knew him as a man, a person I very much like and respect. I just thought that the name was so evocative, right? That it was like, how do I, how do I aggressively sell you on the idea that I'm weak without, shoving it in your face any more than that?
Where are we gonna get
Do you
cards?
want me to trade with you? Well, I can't help you right now, but I can trade with you off my 3 potentially.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Unless you just
what. I'll
want,
tell
unless
you
you just
what.
want that whole bonus, in which case I'm
I'll tell
fucked.
you what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get rid of white over here
Oh, you want
because
to trade
whoever
there?
that is,
Yeah.
Brad on Risk. Sorry, buddy.
Wow.
Sorry, Brad. And I don't know. Let's just see what happens if I break black.
Ooh.
Just go for it.
I don't think Black's gonna be happy with that.
Our alliance is over. Who's black? Black, I'm sorry. Mo. You know what? I'm just having fun.
She's just having fun. That's what you hear.
You guys, I play this game to have fun, and I will say one of my favorite things I've been doing lately is I have been meeting some really new players since there are so many new players to the community, and a lot of them are actually streaming and content creating. I have been having an absolute blast playing beginners.
Hmm.
Get a few drinks in me, and I just play people who have no idea what they're doing, and I have so much fun.
Yeah, and this was how it was for me for a long time. You want to talk about the some of the bittersweet moments of the notoriety I've experienced when I can't interact with the community in the same way as I used to, right? I can't just casually
Mm,
join a game and not have the reaction be OMG it's Pete, right?
yeah,
And like
totally.
that
That's how I feel every time I play with you.
right, right. And that's not to say that I'm not super grateful because obviously I worked really hard at this and to experience the type of success is nothing short of surreal, right? So it's such a blessing. But there's a distance associated with being a quasi pseudo mini celebrity
Hmm.
that is very different than how it was when I first came around and I was essentially like just some other guy, mostly disregarded and I still feel somewhat disregarded in some ways, but it's hard to deny that my influence is felt now. You know what? I'll tell you this story, which I don't know if I've ever told on a Waiting on Your Best Behavior, so you probably haven't heard it. But one of my very first subscribers is a Hungarian man named Karpo, and he's still active in the community, maybe not as active as he was. And I remember listening to Karpo do commentary for one of his tournament games while I was working. So I'm like mowing lawns at the time, listening to this
Hmm.
guy commentate his tournament, and he's using my terminology, right? He's commenting a game like I would comment it, and it was so bizarre to me to be like, this man is using my words. I'm hearing my own words come out of someone else's mouth. Can you imagine what that felt like?
I mean, it probably was really cool.
It was really cool. That's why I'm bringing it up. And I'm sure you're going to experience this more and more as you find success with Risk.
Well, I will say people were welcoming of me right away. And it was so nice. One thing I specifically wanted to talk about is just this community. When I started playing this game, I had no idea that I was going to meet people who I really consider friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get I'm not to the point where I'm getting like real deep with people or anything like that, but like there are people in this community that I talk to every single day.
Yeah, totally.
You check in with them. I mean, Chad Carter, who I'm sure you know,
Mm-hmm.
one of my best friends in this community. I didn't hear from him until like 4 o'clock one day last week. And I was like, "Are you dead? Where are you?" Like I was legitimately concerned because I hadn't seen him in any Twitch chats. He hadn't responded to my DMs. I was like, "Are you alive? What's happening?" And I never ever would have anticipated that. That was so surprising to me is just how welcoming this community has been, how helpful the community is. That has been such a delight and a surprise
Well, what did you
that I
expect? I
was
guess
not
you
expecting.
didn't have any expectations, right?
Yeah, absolutely no experience. Okay. You didn't move your three back.
Where do you want my
So
three?
I either card block you or I card block pink.
I'm not card blocked.
You're not?
Oh, I have lots of options for cards.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just trying to be nice over here, just trying to play friendly.
yeah. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I don't have any experience with a community like this. I've never been a part of a community like this. not a ton of experience with, you know, gaming online. I literally made a Twitch account the day I watched your finals, specifically just to watch
To
that
watch me.
live.
Yes, yes. Awesome.
Um, yeah, you know, learned how to do YouTube videos literally the day I was making my channel. Like, this is all so new to me. But right when I started first posting videos, you know, in those early days, people were messaging me on Discord, "Hey, I watched your videos. They're really cool." And like I was just like, "Wow, that's so nice." Like I would never have the guts. I do now. Now I do. But I wouldn't have had the guts to like DM somebody and be like, "Oh, your videos are so great." You know, like that I just thought that was so neat that people felt so comfortable right away. And that's
To
because this
connect with you.
community,
Yeah,
yes, this
absolutely.
community is so, that's just how this community is. Like that is you guys, you know, before I came around, you guys did such a good job of creating a community that was so non-toxic, so friendly. There are a lot of games, I assume, where top players don't want to talk about their strategy, right?
I mean, I
That's how you
never.
stay
So,
competitive.
well, it's free for all, first of all. And second of all, I have really been aggressively pushing for a culture here that was open and welcoming and friendly. And I had the same reaction you did when you came around. I was like, wow, this place is a place on the internet where the adults are in charge and it's not toxic. What a breath of fresh air. But working to keep it that way is something that I do see as a bit of my responsibility
Hmm.
and something that I've been, you know, an active part in trying to achieve.
Yeah. Well, and it's all of our responsibilities. And I'll tell you my first experience with the risk community, and I think I mentioned this to you before. My first experience with the risk community
Hey, would you mind
was,
breaking Marin too? Oh, never mind. Damn it.
oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I can't mess Marin's game up again. He'll never speak to me
Well, he
again.
just knocked me out of that pocket, so I figure if you were, gonna help me out a little
Okay,
bit.
I'll get Marin next time. He
Thank you.
can't hear us, right? Okay, I'll get Marin next time.
I don't care if he can.
Red's gonna do it. Oh, you're Red.
I mean, I'm gonna get him there. I was hoping you'd get him on the other spot, but it's
I'll get him the
no
other side
no
too.
big deal. No big deal. He doesn't have a
But yeah,
set on too.
my first experience with the risk community was Reddit. I'm a
Oh my
Redditor.
god.
I've been on Reddit for many years.
Yes.
Familiar with the toxic nature of Reddit.
Yes.
Oh my god. Is the
Well,
Reddit risk sub just on another level sometimes?
well, can I tell you a piece of exciting news?
Did they make you mad?
They did.
I saw that post. I think I commented on it. Nobody looked for me though. I don't want to dox myself.
I am the special kind of stupid idiot now who is willing to moderate a a subreddit, and it's
Oh,
like, oh no, what have we done, Pete, that you care? But
that's gonna be real fun for you. What a treat.
uh-huh. Well, but you're 100% picking up the exact same thing that I am. And I figure if there is a place where I can be a positive influence and say, "Hey, you know how you asked for help and when you got it, you told the person who tried to help you to go fuck yourself? Hey, maybe don't do that next time and take the advice." I don't know. What do I know? Why am I wasting my breath on you then? Right? That was
Yeah,
the
that place
adorable
is
thing.
wild, and I was so disappointed because there are some subreddits that are really great.
Sure.
And I was so disappointed because I was expecting all these threads about strategy and, you know, like your favorite maps and why people like them and like this, that, and the other. And I get there and I'm like, oh my God, this place is a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you. I love you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get him.
I'm sorry,
Get
Mary.
him. Fuck him up. Um,
I'm sorry.
two things I have to say about that. So the first is, would you believe that if not for that subreddit, we wouldn't be having this conversation at all. So the very first time I joined the community was from I actually don't have a card, do I? Fuck.
That pink 9 is probably a fine place to get a card. It's probably okay.
It seems expensive.
It's probably fine.
Do we know who Pink is, by the way? Who is Alfred Cohn?
I have no idea, but he needs to be knocked down a peg or two. Alfred Cohn, you don't need that 9. That 9 was doing nothing for you.
I don't know, Mallory. I feel like you're trying to stick me into a spot.
You know what, Pete? I have been paying almost no attention to this game, and that's how you know that we're having a really fun conversation right now.
I'm glad. Yeah, so I came to the first tournament on Discord that I competed in from a post on the Risk subreddit that Sterling made, and then I was instrumental in eliminating him from the finals of that tournament, where he just had a phenomenal run up until that point. So it was
Aaron
just
is
like
delighted about this, by the way. He's
course
like, get her. Get her.
Well, Black just paid a lot to get you, so.
Get him next. I'm going to spectate. I want to know what happens.
I would hope you would want to spectate on your own show, yeah.
Just tell me what's happening.
Sure. No, and then then becoming a part of our community on Discord. Did you come to Discord first then? And then you found the subreddit?
No, so Reddit was where I went first. I did not know what Discord was. I had to have a small child explain it to me.
Nice.
I came to the Discord because I thought that's where I could vote on the weekly sayings of the week.
Sure.
I think a lot of people end up in the Discord for that reason. Was sadly told that that's not happening anymore. But oh my God, am I so glad I joined. I had no idea there were tournaments. Such a great place to connect with people. My mom is coming over this weekend, and I'm going to teach her Discord because she wants to play with friends. And
did you get your mom into playing?
Yeah.
No way.
She was watching my videos just to be supportive. She is also really into games. She loves games. And she was like, this game seems really fun. So she downloaded Risk and started learning how to play from my videos. She's a master now. I have a couple of videos with her on my channel where we play with friends.
Who do you think is better, you or her?
Definitely me.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Okay.
Without a doubt. But she's getting good, Pete. Like, between the first time I played with her and the last time I played with her, she has improved so much. And it's through watching videos. Like, she's been watching Risky Phil. She's got a little crush on Fion. She's been watching some of his videos.
Sure. No, what a beautiful lion's mane he has going on.
Oh, beautiful hair. Pete, my mom has more hours in this game than I do.
Okay.
That's how much she plays, but she does play bots a lot because she'll sometimes play at work when she doesn't, when she can take breaks. So she plays a lot of bot games, but she's getting good. She's up to master. But she's always been, a gamer girl. She was very into video games when I was a kid. And so maybe going back to the woman question, maybe that's another thing is I was raised on video games.
Yeah, well, it has to be in your blood, right?
Yeah, like not all girls are.
Okay.
And I think especially even with this younger generation, I've noticed that not a lot of younger girls play video games. I'm a little bit older, and when I was a kid, video games weren't for boys. Like, all kids played them. But I do think they kind of became for boys at some point. I don't, maybe the 90s, that not a lot of girls play games. I also think a lot of girls are uncomfortable with competitiveness.
Say more about that. Why?
I don't know. I am an extremely, extremely competitive person. And this is something I actually wanted to bring up on the channel.
Great.
Or on the show was I am a very, very competitive person. There are people in my personal life who will not play games with me anymore. Like, that's how competitive I am.
Right.
But I can't be competitive and have fun simultaneously.
Why?
Me personally. It's not when I am competitive, I am only having fun when I am
If you
winning.
win.
And the moment I'm not winning anymore, I am like close to flying into a blind rage.
So what about the reframe? What about the thought that perhaps winning is more, am I learning and growing, as opposed to, did the outcome end up with me with the W?
Yeah, well, and I think that's how I'm approaching risk.
Okay.
From the beginning, I wanted this to be a fun hobby of mine. Once I started the channel, and I did not want to find myself getting kind of sucked into a mindset where this is becoming a job or a chore.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you that, like, things like climbing the leaderboard, I'm confident I could do it, right? I'm confident that I could probably grind it out, that I could find settings that I'm really, really comfortable with. But I would get to a point mentally where, like, I would not be in a good place anymore if I were doing that. So I really set out to make this about fun, playing for fun and having fun, win or lose, finding joy in the losses, in the learning process, and in some of the other things I discovered about the community, which was building relationships and getting to know people, making friends, which all has now become so much more important to me than, like, I must win at all costs. Like, I am comfortable with losing, and it's not going to bother me if I
Mm-hmm.
lose. But not all the time. And I can tell you there are two specific games. They were both in tournaments where, like, I didn't sleep that night. I was so infuriated.
What
And,
happened?
like, I don't like that. I'm not having fun anymore when I'm tossing and turning, replaying a game in my mind, all hours of the night. So, like, I try to keep that part of my competitiveness to a minimum for my own sanity.
Yeah. So the way I approach it, like I just said, right, the reframe. I don't need to win a battle if I've won the war. So a big part of my win, how I define success in this game is, am I learning and growing? Sorry, I had to kill him for his insolence.
No, nice play.
Thank you.
You're good at the talking and the thinking and the strategizing all at the
So
same
are
time.
you though. I figure it would make it. I figure it would make it pretty good, Mallory, if you're doing this. How often do you post? Almost every day?
Was posting every day pretty much since the beginning of my channel. I recently had to switch to 4 times a week. I just got behind. We got a new puppy. And so I just got a little bit behind on playing because of the puppy. And then I have a vacation coming up where I'm not going to be playing for about 9 days. So in order to kind of parse my content out a little bit, I am down to 4 times a week, but I will very likely get back to every day. I usually play mostly on the weekends, and I usually get 4 or 5 games in Saturday, Sunday, and that gives me plenty of content then for the rest of the week. And I post almost every game I play. Very
Oh,
few
really?
games do I not post. Yeah.
Okay, so then what would be a criteria for a show that you'd kill?
So the very first one that I did not post was a game that I thought was progressive, and it was fixed, and it was 70% on
Yeah.
Reverse World, and the person who was very clearly going to win once I figured out what was going on would not end the game. And I think like halfway through that game, I am like literally watching TV. Like I'm like not even facing the camera anymore because I'm just like so bored with the game.
Yeah, just a total misunderstanding.
Yeah, like I was just like, I'm not into this game anymore. I don't even feel like commentating on it anymore. Like, and I don't bat out, so I was just kind of like stuck there.
Right.
But I will post pretty much everything because I think it's again an important part of like the journey of my channel, I guess, is like you see the good, the bad, the ugly. Maybe that's a mistake content-wise.
No. So, not to presume to give you advice, but my opinion here is that good art is for the artist first. So what we're doing with this video work is the very, very most important thing, as far as I can tell, is am I having fun?
Yeah. I feel strongly about that.
That's my North Star in this. I have to be having fun or else I'm losing, and then everything else comes secondary. So that's why I always say, you know, how do I end my show? Did you find some of this fun and entertaining, maybe even a little bit educational and informative? The learning is great, and I think the balance between a show that is fun and a show that is educational is for each content creator to strike. But it is an essential thing. Fun is not optional for video game television. We are playing games. The audience resonates off of us enjoying ourselves, right?
Yeah. And for me, I can say, like, I have no plans to make YouTube a career.
Yeah, well, neither did I.
I have a job. Like, I'm very happy with my job most days. Like, this is for me a fun hobby, and it's given me something to really kind of care about and pour myself into, which is nice. I've not really ever had that.
Okay.
And it's fun to share that with people. That was another surprising part of the channel I wasn't expecting, is how fun it is to kind of share that creative part of yourself. And you know, if it resonates with people, great. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. The last thing I want to do is make videos for the viewers. Like, I would not enjoy that.
You're doing it for you.
I make a lot of jokes about like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get into a hot tub. Like, would I get into a hot tub and play Risk Pete? Sure. Would I like doing that? Maybe a little, but not really.
my answer is always depends on what it's worth here, right? I will take my top off for the right price. For game 3, do you have settings?
Okay, yeah, let's do Conquest of Stockholm. Progressive?
Yep. Same thing? Nothing fancy?
Yeah.
Sure.
Nothing fancy.
I like Stockholm. No,
I like this map too.
This is something that I think younger people, you're closer to me in age than most people in the community. So we're a bit on the outside. Merritt says
this community is full of tiny children. Hey, Chad Carter's here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chad started streaming, by the way.
He made affiliate, he told me.
Yes, so quickly. I think you rated him one night, and that's how it happened. Or maybe JJ. I think it may have been JJ rated him.
I definitely rated him. I'm sure he was very happy.
Yeah, check out C Carter 1996 on Twitch.
This is true. We'll shout him
Carter, my best friend.
This is XC Dude 96 in the game. Chad is a gentleman and a friend of mine as well.
He always lets me be green. Green is actually Chad's color, and I did not know this for the longest time because every time we played together, he let me be green, and I thought orange was like his preferred color. Fun story, I met Chad in the first game of Legends last season. That is where I met him.
Very cool.
Join tournaments, guys. They are so fun and you meet so many good people. Oh, Elatar's here.
Should we do a promo? Why don't we do a promo? So
Yeah, let's.
here
Oh,
here
so
we
many
are.
tournaments coming up.
Well, actually, we can't do a promo because by the time this show airs,
Oh, you're right.
the
You're
tournament
right.
signups will be close. Everyone will be bummed. We will when
We
this
can
show
just make
airs.
people jealous.
Yes, we will be in week 1 of the Risk Legends tournament. We'll also know the outcome of this season's Risk World Championship finals that I am competing in. So,
Whoop, whoop.
oh, can you imagine being nervous, huh? What do you think, Mallory? First of all, what do you think the odds? I never in a million years would have guessed that I could make the finals back to back. So now that it's a 1 in 6 chance, I would, even making the finals is a win for me.
Yeah. Who are you playing with?
So the 6 competitors are myself. There's Kuel, who is a top 10 grandmaster from Finland who streams. Really good player. There's Pierre Stonefield 10, who I faced in round 6 and round 7. He's from New Zealand. There's Riley Valenzuela. There's Fonty 13. And who am I missing? Myself, Kuel, Pierre, Riley, Fonty, and I have to look on the spreadsheet. Damn it. I should know this off by heart. I don't want to miss anybody.
It's going to be a really good game. The finals are always so exciting. These tournaments are super exciting, very nerve-wracking, but I find them to be a lot of fun.
And a moo! I can't believe I forgot a moo. So
a
Moobao has been a EH. A Moobao has been a competitor in the GM tournament. He's definitely a friend of mine. A moo is a very, very talented grandmaster. So I'm not going to snooze on any of these guys. The real question...
You really can't, because in those final games especially, people are really playing to win. Like, first couple of games, people are really just, we're going to have fun, but...
Not me, Mal. Like, I'll tell you this. You want to talk about playing to win, being competitive versus not. Like, I'm playing a very different game when I'm sitting down in a tournament versus when I'm on stream, or even these where we're just, the goal for me right now is to learn about you, to learn about the settings, to learn about the other players. When I'm in a tournament, my goal is not to learn. My goal is to, how do I win? What is the circumstance? What is the right decision right now that gives me the best odds of victory? And that's it. That's the only thing on my mind. So,
I would be terrified to be in a tournament game with you, Pete. I'm not kidding. I would be absolutely terrified.
Good. I have crafted this image very carefully then, right? Do you think that's not on purpose? People misunderstand me all the time. Yes.
I think you are doing a great job with it. I don't think people can ever be appropriately scared of me.
Oh, that's not true.
Though I will say, game 1 of the free for all.
Yeah.
It's one of the games that kept me up at night. And I will say, preface this, the 2 people I'm about to talk about, I talked to both of them after the game. I have absolutely no ill will towards either of them. But we are in the lobby waiting to start the game, and our game host asks, is anybody going to be able to stream this? And I said, I can't stream it. I'm going to be recording, and I'm afraid it's going to mess up my recording if I share my screen as well.
Mm-hmm.
And someone, I assumed wrongly that like people kind of already knew who I was, that me being a YouTuber wasn't a secret. And one of the people in the chat was like, oh, you're on YouTube, what's your channel? And I said it was Poorly Played Risk, and they immediately kind of got freaked out. They thought that was like, I guess like the opposite of intimidation, like that I'm actually like this super duper good player and, Poorly Played Risk as a joke. And I was like, no, really, like I suck at this game. But I was the highest ranked person in that match. Like this tournament had like what, 600-700 people in it. I was the highest ranked person. I came out into a really great early lead. and 2 people basically took me out the very next turn.
Right. So the opposite of what usually works to your advantage in a game, right? Your kind nature and your understated approach kind of backfired.
Yeah, it freaked people out big time. And I was super mad at myself for mentioning I was, going to record it. Like, I would just kept thinking like, oh my God, like what if I hadn't said that? Is that the reason why? Is it because I killed that bot? Is it because I moved too fast? Is it because I was the highest ranked person? Like I drove myself crazy with those questions after that game.
Okay. Do you think did that put you in an unrecoverable position for the rest of the tournament?
It did.
Oh,
It
you gotta
probably
watch out.
didn't have to.
You gotta watch out there.
Probably
Elatar
didn't
botted,
have
eh?
to. What?
You see how Elatar botted behind you? He's gonna hit your 1.
Buddy.
He botted, man. Be careful.
What the heck, Elatar? I thought we were friends.
Yeah, with regular Elatar, not bot Elatar. Okay, we have a couple of questions from the other folks in the podcast server I definitely want to get to. So the first one is from Phil. And Phil would like to know, question for Mallorie. Are you fake now that you play Risk well? You see, he thought of the same thing I did. Why did you start a YouTube when the game was still small? Brackets before the Pete effect, trademark. And you're still early in your learning. Has the game of Risk got you to look at anything in life differently? Okay, these are all different questions. Let's start with the first 2. Are you fake now that you played Risk well, and why did you start a YouTube? We got into it mostly, but...
Yeah, we talked about that. So I don't think I'm fake. I mean, I do still think that I play poorly. I think you guys have seen that on this very show. I don't want any nasty rumors.
She's just throwing.
Do you see what Chad is doing right now?
He's backing you up. That's a true friend.
He is such a bro.
Uh-huh. And now you're just going to...
That was really nice.
And you're just going to eliminate everybody behind you.
Should I?
I don't know. That's up to you. You do you. I'm not trying to
Oh.
influence your game.
Wait. This is progressive, right?
This is progressive.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh yeah, I still play poorly. Please don't start any nasty rumors about me being good at this game. I want it to be known.
Yes.
I still make mistakes all the time.
Let the record show that Mallorie does not
that
know
first game
what he's doing.
And one of the reasons I think I started a channel, other than what we already talked about, was like if I were coming into the community right now, no way do I start this channel.
Why?
I saw a niche that I didn't see filled in the content creators at the time, and of course we're talking about just a few months ago, but the landscape has changed a lot. Is he back?
No, that was a ball.
No. Okay. I'm not paying attention. So yeah, I don't think I start this channel if I come in right now, but at the time it was still a pretty small creator community, and I didn't see anybody doing what I wanted to do, which was watch my journey, get in at the ground floor, post losses. Like you and Phil posted losses here and there, but let's face it, you guys are pretty good at this game. You don't lose that much.
Well, but I wasn't always.
And how new were you? Well, you had played Risk a long time, as the board game.
Let's go into some ancient history. You've watched a lot of these shows. You've listened to me talk a lot.
Yes,
How much of my first 6 months on YouTube did you ever watch one of the early ones?
Yes, I started at almost the beginning of your channel.
Okay, so you didn't find them unwatchably bad.
No.
Okay.
I'll watch anything, Pete. I am. You don't even understand. I am very lonely during the workday, and I need somebody to keep me company.
So we've spent a lot of time together, but the connection went mostly one way.
We are actually very close friends. You may not know this about us, but
This is the thing. Yeah. No, I take that well. what I will say about when I started is I was not yet a top 500 grandmaster, something like that. And we all know how dubious the rank thresholds are, but I think of the difference between a grandmaster and a top 500 grandmaster as being the difference between a top 500 and a top 100, as the difference between a top 100 and a top 10. And if you're top 10, you're effectively number one. So that's how I see the rank thresholds making some amount of sense. Did you not break the Elatar bot behind you? You're nuts. He's going to... That was an error, Mallorie. He's going to punish you.
Chad's not over here to save me anymore.
No, not anymore.
I'm so enthralled in this conversation.
Sure,
Who can
I'm
think
distracting
about risk
you
at a time like this.
I'm distracting you, and that's my plan all along. So he's going to put it on. Oh, you're lucky. He fucks me instead. No! 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 God fucking damn it! You got so lucky, son of a bitch! No! Oh my god! Fuck! Motherfucking fuck! I can't believe it! I was like, he's gonna fuck you, and he fucks me instead. Oh, that's so annoying. All right, so what you're saying is I shouldn't bot out, and I should play really sneaky and still win the game in the end, right?
I think you can still win this.
This is the Mallorie style? Okay.
I totally think you can still win this. How can I kill you?
Don't kill me.
Don't really have good lines on you.
Good.
Their alliances. Damn it.
Very upset.
I can't believe that happened.
So one of the first things I say in every intro is, if you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to come along the ride with me. And what I mean by that is not, here I am, this great player to teach you how to get better. It's, if you're interested to watch that journey, I'm interested. So come along the ride with me. Watch me learn and grow, and let's learn and grow together.
Totally.
Did you take from that the meaning, or did you kind of take the other one more?
Yeah, I think maybe if I'd been watching you from the beginning, maybe I would have understood that a little bit more.
Okay.
I think I came in at a time where, like, and Pete, when I started watching you, just for context, for the folks who have just come to your channel, started watching you, and we talked about this in April. You had about 3,000 subscribers.
Sure. Sounds about right.
I thought that you were just like the most famous person who had ever spoken to me. And then now look at you.
Yeah.
I was nauseous all day about this. I was so nervous.
No, you weren't.
You remain the most famous person I've ever spoken to, but in a completely different way now. You're like super YouTube famous.
I don't know what that means. It's very, very hard for me to... And I take me at my word when I'm not being fake humble here. It's the numbers are too large for me to think of. I am a dude sitting in the same room we've been sitting in for years playing a video game.
It's like incomprehensible.
Yeah, just an incomprehensibly large number of people are watching, and that's such a blessing. But because that connection goes mostly one way, I don't actually get a ton of feedback. Like, I'm still like good friends with most of the people I became good friends with on the Discord when I came around. Anyone who's still active, right? Like I'm buddies with Spud. I'm buddies with Kyle. Actually, we became IRL friends. I'm buddies with Parlox. I talk to Parlox almost every day. But like, it's almost too bad that just by virtue of the fact that we're humans, I don't have the ability to connect. Fuck, I think Marin just kills me, right? Fuck.
Is he still yellow?
Yeah, he's still yellow.
Speaking of Parlox, I'm a little disappointed he hasn't popped into chat to ask me how I feel about Hitler. I was like really ready for that.
He was going to talk to you about
prepared myself.
He was going to talk to you about Hitler?
No, but in one of your recent episodes,
What?
he like just popped into chat and was like, "And what are your thoughts on Hitler?" And I laughed out
Yeah,
loud.
was that a joke? Or I don't.
I I think it was Johnny's episode.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't remember the
Ah,
context, but I was
right.
like, "Wow, Parlax, what a non sequitur that was." So I'm disappointed. I thought maybe he would do that for every guest.
I mean, it was probably less of a non sequitur. If we make sure those who don't know, Parlux is an Israeli man, so maybe he had it a little bit more on the brain than most folks. But yeah, that really does seem to come out of nowhere.
Yeah. I
The
think it made sense in the context.
It always makes sense
I
in
don't know
his
what
head.
to do. I don't know what to do.
All right, here's a good one that Phil was asking. Has the game of Risk got you to look at anything in life differently? Describe what you see in your head when you're evaluating. Okay. Describe what you see in your head when you're evaluating a game you're playing. What does it look like? Feelings, colors, sounds, etc.
Oh, this is a good question. I think I just ran out of time. Um,
Yeah.
so
I think
I
so
played this
too.
game. Oh, look, everybody's coming. Hey guys. Everyone's joining the VC. I
Uh
play
oh.
this game completely feelings based, gut instinct on a hope and a prayer. And frankly, I think that's where some of my mistakes are. And one of the things I've been enjoying a lot is I've been spending a lot of time with Olive,
Mm.
who has a very analytical approach to this game. He is helping me to see this game a little bit differently and how I see it. And I really just I look at the board, I kind of make a quick judgment based on number of troops I have, number of troops other people have. Obviously, in these games, like I'm not doing any of that. Like I'm enthralled in this conversation, but I really played this game like 100% feelings based. And again, that's where a lot of my mistakes come from. I fail to kill a lot on people. I make huge kind of miscalculations sometimes, and that's just because in that moment it felt right, and it's only after the moment's over that I'm like, "Oh, that was a huge mistake."
Right. And then you hope you didn't do it again.
Yeah, and I also just in general am very much like an experienced person where like I have to experience something in order to figure it out.
Well,
Very
did you
much a
did
hands-on
you see
learner.
the thing you did here? That's significant.
Yeah,
You fed you
I
fed Marin
just
the bot
noticed
kill, right?
that.
Okay. Just
Just
thought to bring
noticed
it
it.
up because when I saw you doing it, I was like, she's running out of
Thanks.
time, and she could have gotten it, but you did run out of time. Maybe I distracted you. I apologize, but
No. Again, I
whatever.
was super worried about I was going to be carrying 5 cards if I killed that bot.
Ah,
I don't know. I'm not good at progressive. My progressive game is so weak.
well, that's
I
why you're here to
also
learn.
I'm noticing that really my strongest area of improvement is really the mid game. I feel pretty good about my early game, and I feel pretty good about being in a 1v1 situation at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mid game where I start to really I don't know what to do sometimes. Like I'm legitimately like, what do I do here? That is my area of greatest improvement, I think, is really focusing and zeroing in on trying to have a better plan.
Okay, so we're in the mid game right
I
now.
play a lot of yeah,
So what's the
just
most
now that
important
last
thing?
turn, I was like, I do not know what to do.
Okay, so what, in your opinion, Mal, what is the most important thing you could be paying attention to right now?
Um, Probably first and foremost, do I have cards? No, of course not.
Right.
Um, if there's anyone to kill,
Okay. Neither of
who
those
can
are
kill
true.
me?
Well, what's the next step after that question?
How do I not get killed?
You're in two places.
Oh,
Why are you only in two places? And if,
oh
look,
no.
I'm only in two places, but I don't have two bonuses like you. So where are you going to put your troops right now? Where were you
Oh,
thinking about putting your troops?
my So I'll be honest, until
Yeah.
you said I was in two places,
There
I
you
thought
go.
that 15 was in a different place.
Right, but it's not.
But it's not. It's all
Right.
connected.
So that's where you put your good. So if we're going to talk about improving your mid game, that's the move, right? Now you have a
Okay.
nice far away position, and you're going to break your buddy?
No. Of course not. No.
Oh my God, you did it! How could you?
I pressed it on accident. I pressed it on accident. Oh, Chad, I'm so sorry. I love you. I can't send you hearts.
Uh-huh.
Don't oops me. Oops.
Uh-huh.
Oops. It's psychological torture to me.
No, well.
I messed it up.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Yeah, so stuff like that is stuff that I love pointing out in progressive, because I think a lot of people get very fixated on their board position. And some of that is fixed instincts. Some of that is the early game on this map, and a lot of the new maps are very board heavy, so you want bonuses. Bonuses do matter. But at some point in Prague, there's a switch, and we're at the switch. This is about turn 8 or 9. We're on turn 7. So the bonuses are going to stop mattering almost completely. And you're going to want to be in as many places as you can reliably attack out from, but also prevent yourself from being killed. So, okay, did we get all of...
Such a good point.
Yeah, for sure. Did we get all of Phil's questions? Oh, describe what you see in your head when you're evaluating a game you're playing. What does it look like? Feelings, colors, sounds, etc.
I am an empty vessel. I see the board in front of me, and as you've just seen, Pete, I don't even see that very clearly. Are you guys seeing colors and numbers like outside of the colors and numbers in the game? Like, is that the missing piece? Am I supposed to be smelling something right now? Is there a risk instinct I've missed? That's the secret.
The self-deprecation is lost on me. I don't believe you for a second. I
often feel like that meme of that lady where the numbers are just flying around her head and she looks really confused. That's how I spend most of my life.
Excellent.
Spend most of my life that way.
All right.
Surely I can kill somebody here, right?
Marin? I think Marin, right?
He's in chat.
I know, and that's why he's angrily. That's why he's angrily emoting, because he doesn't like that He doesn't like that I gave.
You tricked me.
What?
Pete, you tricked me. The person I can kill is you.
Yeah, that's true, but you didn't do that, so don't kill me.
All these fools are blacking me down here.
No, kill Marin. I still think you should kill Marin. I think that's the move.
I can't.
Look, I'll tell you. If I was you, I would have killed Marin.
Can't do it. Oh, you trickster.
What? That doesn't sound like something I would do at all.
Yeah, sorry, Phil, to disappoint. I'm not seeing anything. I am I am usually a couple claws deep. And I'm usually heavily miscalculating.
How sharp are these claws? How sharp are these claws we're talking about here?
No, if you guys ever play a game with me on a Friday night, this is just for anybody listening. If it is after 8 p.m. on a Friday night and you're playing a game with me, I am at least on claw 6. That's just Friday night is my night to just crack open a case of White Claw and play some Risk and make a complete fool of myself. I am stone cold sober for you though, Pete. I wanted to be on my A game. Can't you tell?
I can.
That I brought my A game tonight.
I can, and thank you. I'm on a no booze week because that's because the finals, baby. You know, I want my, my cognitive ability. I'm getting old, so any little thing that keeps me sharp. I've been sucking back quadruple espresso before I start each round. So, and all those fog games, I actually had an old coffee pot that doesn't really make coffee so good anymore, but the hot plate's still good. So I've been putting it in my room so I can get a refill of my coffee during the game without having to look away from the screen in fog. Right? I mean, edge, isn't it? Isn't it so stupid? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a very Pete thing to do.
I I am not good at fog, and it's precisely for that reason. I just do not pay close enough attention, like, at all.
Why not?
Okay, Pete's protecting the kill on Marin.
What?
He's the only one worth killing. What are the cards worth? 45?
I know. Marin's happy now that I saved his life.
Wait. No.
All right. Go forth, my friend.
What does that give me?
Go forth and murder. Enjoy yourself. Let's see some fireworks, baby! Who's Marin gonna kill? I think he can kill anyone he'd like.
Here we go.
I think he can kill anyone he'd like, so let's see him do it. So this is another thing you want to notice, right? You want to make impactful changes to throw people off their game. He didn't expect me to do this, but now that that path is open, but a different path is closed. Ooh. I think he gets Chad.
Has he got enough? Oh, yeah, he definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
Good game, buddy.
Yeah, GG, dude. And we have a question for Marin. Similar to what Phil was asking, but why are you so set on being unconfident? And what type of effect has this mentality had on your risk gameplay? Do you see how we're all asking a similar sort of question?
Yeah. So Marin gets very, very frustrated with me.
Why?
He thinks that I am better at this game than I show myself to be.
Yeah.
And he really, really believes in me, which I appreciate. So Marin is one of my earliest friends in this community.
Yep.
I played my first ever like community game for my YouTube channel with Marin. He supported me right away. And one of the things that is really, really cool about this community is how different everyone is. Like Marin is like 14 years old. And I just think that's incredible. It is so infrequent as an adult that you have a real opportunity to learn from somebody who you could literally be their mother. Like, I think that's amazing that like in this situation, like Marin, who is so much younger than me, is actually kind of like my elder, right? I've learned so much from him. I think that's so neat. You don't really get an opportunity to do that in a lot of other situations. Oh no.
Sorry, dude.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Yeah, don't cry for me.
Miss me when I'm gone. But I will say that in life, in my non-risk life, I am an extremely confident person. I'd almost make a strong argument that I'm an overconfident person.
Interesting.
Yeah, I am quite egotistical. Well known for it, for people who know me in real life.
Common trait amongst risk players.
But I think I think it's not a trait I necessarily like about myself. I do try to be very humble. And I do think my confidence level in this game is fairly low. And maybe that will change over time and with more experience. But I am still crazy intimidated anytime I'm playing a Grandmaster, even though I am also a Grandmaster. There are certain players who, like you, I mentioned you, but a lot of the people I'm seeing in this VC right now, if I had in a tournament game, like I would be absolutely terrified.
I think it's important to mention because, right now, listening to us play, we have Arco, Gold, JJ, John, Marin, Spud, and Bull. All previous guests on the show, with the exception of JJ, who is a future guest,
Woo-hoo!
and I can imagine that's a little extra sweat for you, Mel. So this is just so you know that we're all here cheering you on. Yeah,
I love having an audience.
Yeah, good.
Does anyone have cards?
We certainly won't have any trouble filling the next lobby. JJ would like to know, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is green.
Like this green?
Green like the marker. All right, sorry.
Yeah, you're focus. Can't talk and risk, guys. Can't talk and risk. Let's go.
These territories are so small.
You got it. You got it. Well done.
Oh, fuck.
Now what do? Do you give the game to me or do you give the game to Marin?
I mean, I think I gotta give it to Marin. He's so mad.
Hey, what do you mean? No. Get out of here. You gotta give it to Marin. That's ridiculous.
I mean, do I have to give it to either of you? Can't I still win?
Yeah, so go for the win. I wasn't suggesting you had to kill me, but I guess now you're killing me. So. Ah, damn it. She's killing me, guys. She's killing me. The true poorly played move is to kill Pete.
No, you guys only both have one card. Nobody's worth killing yet.
I see. You're not that much of a prog noob, huh?
I'm doing my best over here, but come on, killing someone for one card? Are you crazy?
I'm crazy.
Crazy like a fox.
I don't know, dude. I play Risk, so call me what you will. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I can't believe you broke that bonus. That was my favorite bonus.
Yeah, well, not anymore. All right, Kilted would like to know, if you had one piece of advice to pass on to a younger Mallorie, what would it be?
Ooh, wow, that is such a good question.
Yeah, I love that. I get that one too from time to time.
How young we talking? I think if I'm talking to like 17-year-old me, the advice I would have is probably to be more joyful. I think if I'm talking to like 22-year-old me, it's intermittent fasting. It works.
Yeah, right on. I actually hear that's it's better for men than for women. So you've had positive experiences with IF?
I have had great experience with intermittent fasting. I started doing it hardcore during COVID out of
You're not even gonna hit Marin? You're not even gonna hit him? You're just only gonna hit Pete?
Well,
this is
what's the name
This
of the
is
show?
horse shit. I'll tell you what the name of the show is.
Oh, I ran out of time.
The name of the show is This is Horse Shit.
I started intermittent fasting just kind of naturally during COVID. And I've lost probably about 40 pounds.
What is your eating window?
I eat from about 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So usually when my husband gets home from work, I mostly just eat one meal now. I'm not even really snacking anymore. Like my appetite has really changed with intermittent fasting. It's really interesting. I also, as I've gotten older, have really lost my sweet tooth a lot, I've noticed. Holy shit, am I gonna win this game? Wow!
No, he's gonna kill you. You know he's gonna kill
trades?
you.
Oh man, I just got so excited there for a second. I thought I was gonna win.
You still might. You got 4 cards. I'm just trying to throw you off. It's that psychological warfare.
I am so easily manipulated in this game, you guys. You have no idea.
Well, so Marin is sitting at 80 troops. Mallorie has 100 and
oh no,
14
I'm gonna win. I have
and 20. A 4 set. Yeah, you got a lot more
I
troops
have
than
20.
him. Okay, so go kick his ass.
What do I get?
Go kick his
Ooh,
ass.
I'm gonna have to split. I gotta split.
Uh-huh.
I gotta be quick like a little bunny. Oh, I'm not
The
gonna make it in time.
the pathing on Stockholm was tricky.
It is. These territories are so small. Okay, fast like lightning.
Let's go. One thing I would consider doing there in your situation too is, if you're not super confident about the pathing, or you have to do multiple splits, you might want to try a 2-stack scenario in the late game, because that way, if one of them gets locked, you still have access
Like
to...
I just did.
Yeah, no, which is why you
That
didn't...
was open over there.
Yeah, but you did a split, which was good. You still have him. You might not have the clock, so unless he has a set on 3, you're okay. You also want to save a little second of time to open up your 32. Don't run out of time into attack. Break all his bonuses, and then split off with your fortify. Yeah. There you go. I want to see Marin die.
Ooh, does he have a set? Does he have a set? He's throwing up emojis. What does it mean?
He's not happy
No
that
set.
I said I want him to die. He dislikes this. He dislikes this outcome. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
So excited.
All right, Arco would like to know. JJ and I were playing Rivertown before dropping by. Speaking of which, why is 5-round Rumble the best game mode? By best you mean worst, right, Arco?
Fortified this wrong. I love Rivertown settings. It was
no, you
on
didn't.
my list
You're open to both pockets, Mallory.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay.
No, sorry, you're not. Never mind. You can't hit the right. That's the correct place. Good for you.
Didn't think I was going to be getting so many.
No, you did it. You saw it before I did. Good job.
A split again.
I think she's got you, Marin. Don't give us the devil horns. I think she's got you, sir.
Oh, all these fucking splits. What the fuck?
Let's go.
Pathing on this map is bonkers.
I had to play this one on my phone yesterday. You did it. Good game.
On your phone?
It was tough, yeah.
I'm so proud of that one. I messed it up multiple times, but I still got it.
Of course you did.
420 battle points. That's what I just got.
Of course you did. Okay, folks. We got a lot of people in this VC, Mallory. You got one more game in you?
Yeah, I can do one more.
Awesome. What are we playing?
Let's do... Let's do Turkey Prague.
Sure.
I think Turkey Prague is my favorite map.
Will you take a quick look at the questions for guest?
Sure.
There's one at the bottom there that if we can go into it, we will, and otherwise, we can feel free to avoid.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, so how about I ask the question, and then I'm just going to go get a drink quickly. And for any of these folks in the VC, come join us, please. The question is, this is from Stove, and it's a personal question, so this is why we confirmed if it was okay.
The game is full, by the way. I didn't make it.
Someone let Mallory in. Thank you very much. The question is, was there a traumatic event in your childhood that has affected your confidence?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't know. So I haven't really had, I wouldn't say that I had a traumatic event. I did have some, I would say, like general childhood trauma. I think a lot of people do, but not one single event. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing. Like I said, outside of Risk, I am a pretty confident person. A little bit big-headed, actually. It's more, I think, I would say not my confidence, but maybe my attachment. And I don't know if people know much about like attachment theory and stuff like that, but I've done some reading into it. I'm not an expert by any means. I would say that one of the things that is most shameful for me is letting people down.
Hmm.
And in fact, when I got into Risk, my mom said that she was really glad I was getting into this game. She was hoping it would toughen me up a little bit because
Hmm.
I am extremely, extremely sensitive to the idea of disappointing people, someone being disappointed in me. And I think in the bio I completed for you, Pete, one of the
Hmm.
things that I don't like about the community and one of my least favorite parts is like when people get mad about game outcomes, and especially like it's very triggering for me to hear like you've ruined my game. Not only do I not
Why?
agree with that sentiment, like the
Yeah.
idea that someone can ruin your game, like this is a game, I'm playing my game, you're playing yours. I can't ruin your game like by the very nature of it. So I
Hmm.
kind of like disagree with the assessment.
Hmm.
But to hear that from someone would like be kind of devastating to me. So I wouldn't say it's a confidence thing. It is absolutely though like a disappointment thing. Like I never want to let someone down. Um
But is that
and I think
realistic?
that no, not at all. Not at all. And
Yeah.
I would say that that is something that absolutely carries from my childhood. I was always teacher's pet, rule follower, like goody two shoes, like from a small child, never had to be punished. And that is a big part. It was like wanting to ensure like the adults in my life were like never disappointed in me.
Well, one of the things that this question brought up in me, that I want to share is I was searching for a long time to explain or justify my own lack of confidence. And I was searching for a traumatic event in my past, and the fact that I couldn't pinpoint one was actually very vexing. I was like, well, why do I feel this way? I wish there was a moment I could point to and say that's why, and then that would be sort of an opening to the path to healing. I seem to have concluded that this is an intergenerational thing, and I have kind of learned probably from my mother not the healthiest patterns of behavior and coping strategies. But it took me until my late 30s before I was able to have the confidence to really stand up and let myself shine as brightly as I could, and
Oh, interesting.
be the fullest Pete I can be. Yeah, I had to learn. I had to learn that confidence. I would say just about the hardest way possible. But I don't suffer from shame, so
See, and we're opposites. That we are total opposites. I do carry a lot of shame
yeah.
with me.
Well, yeah, you seem like a
But
high agreeableness person, right? So
yes,
your idea
very much
that
so.
you'd hate to let someone down is very telling, because that's almost a murder, right? You're putting other people ahead of you.
I will let somebody win a game if I think it means they won't be mad at me. And Pete, I'm talking about strangers
Sure,
online that I will
sure,
never meet.
right, right. Yeah, and like
Like you
learning
start throwing
assertiveness.
certain emojis my way and I'm like falling apart at the seams. Like it does
Yeah.
not take much, folks.
Okay, okay. Well, you
But you
heard it
have to
here.
know
This is
yourself. I think it's important. It's super important to know yourself. And I at least know this about me. I was actually rewatching my very first video yesterday, and one of the things I talk about in that video is I rarely initiate alliances in this game because
why.
I then become so manipulated by them. And I know that about myself to the point where I will very rarely initiate an alliance
That's
simply
funny.
because I know that I then become so reluctant to hit that person that it ruins my game.
Well, you can't betray your ally.
Well, ally is your lifelong best friend. You are going to be best friends with
Lifelong,
that person
exactly.
forever.
Forever, forever. I'm sending you metaphysical hearts right now.
Yeah, this is that heart emoji is everything to me, Pete.
Can we touch on attachment theory? What would you like to tell people who maybe don't know about what that means.
So, and again, not an expert, but there is, I think, a lot of talk about this lately. And attachment theory is a lot about how, like, your very formative, like, first early years. Did your parents attend to you when you cried? You know, did you feel secure in getting the things that you need? Did you have, you know, like, stableness in those early years? And people who don't can really carry that with them into adulthood. And to get personal for a little bit, so, like, I was raised by my grandparents. As you guys know, my mom is very much in my life. She was a young mom. She had just had my brother and sister back to back. Money was very tight. So for what was supposed to be a very temporary time, I went to live with my grandparents, and I ended up living with them for almost my entire childhood. And I never felt abandoned. Again, I saw my mom all the time. We've generally had a pretty close relationship my entire life. But I also have never met my dad. And though I wouldn't describe myself as someone with like daddy issues, he didn't like walk out on me or anything. Like I never knew the guy. You know, growing up, other people's reaction to my grandparents raising me made me feel weird. I never knew it was weird, but it was other people's reaction that made me realize it was weird. And feeling like I was constantly having to explain my home life situation, you know, having to explain that like I wasn't taken away from my mom, like all of those things as a kid started to really give me like a weird complex. Because, you know, for some people, I guess that was unusual, but for me, it was all I ever really knew. Um, I also had a really, really stable home life. I lived in the same house from the time I was 5 until I left home. But my brother and sister lived in a different house, you know, every 7 or 8 months. And, you know, I would go to my mom's on the weekends and it was always a different place and I didn't have a bedroom. I shared my grandma's bedroom until I was in like third or fourth grade because again, me living there was supposed to be temporary. So like those kinds of things have really made having like stableness and routine extremely important to me into my adulthood. And I think also really goes down to more of that, like not wanting to let people down. Like I was constantly just wanting to ensure that the adults around me as a kid, like that I wasn't causing them too much trouble, right? Like
Well,
I
stability.
didn't
I think
want my mom
stability
to
is
feel like,
important to everybody,
yeah, like,
right?
am I a
Yeah.
financial burden to my mom? And you know, that's why she couldn't keep
All
all of
kids,
us.
all
Or like,
kids are. That's just being a kid. Of course, kids are
yeah, but
financial
like that,
burdens to their parents. That's the
I
way of the
I
world.
thought a lot about that, about, you know,
Ah,
how like
okay.
my existence was making things harder for the adults around me. I left home as soon as I turned 18 because my grandparents needed to retire and I needed to be independent and get out of their house. Like not because they were making me, but because I felt like that's what I had to do. You know, that kind of stuff of like constantly wanting to like do what I felt the people around me needed me to do, even though that's not what they were asking me to do.
Right. Did you if you ever are you ever familiar with the Buddhist tradition, the way they define attachment?
No.
So the first noble truth of Buddhism is that life is suffering.
Oh, yes.
And
Okay.
so the Buddhist tradition tends to frame all attachment as suffering. So the enlightened being is they who are free of all encumbrances of physicality, all attachments. I just thought it was an interesting
Mm.
juxtaposition with you're talking about how you're raised as a child, but it really does extend into our being and our personhood as adults, right? How we anchor to certain people, times, places, and things really can affect what is meaningful and what is important to you long term. How do I
Oh,
get it?
big time. Oh, I
Yeah.
agree with that completely. I will say that really my entire family has like a real propensity for anger. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Inside Out, Pete, but like in that movie, your emotions are like running the show with like a little control panel, but like one
Okay.
emotion is like the head honcho in charge.
Hmm.
And like one of the emotions in that movie is anger. And like I would say, like me, my entire family, anger is the emotion that's like in charge for us.
Okay.
And it's something that I've really tried hard to dissociate myself with.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Um, yeah, I don't like being angry, and I can go from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds flat. Like I can just really fly off the handle about really small things. And I think it's important as adults to know yourself well, to at least understand why you have these reactions. And like, this is a game. I get it's a game. But yeah, sometimes some of the worst feelings in this game is when you are like mad about it. And that's another thing that like when somebody is disappointed in you for ruining their game and they're getting angry about it, like I start to have maybe like a visceral reaction to that a little bit.
Well, the only thing I will say about that as a disagreeable person who tends to self select for more disagreeable people in his life because I value people who will tell me bluntly and honestly when I'm wrong, um, is the interesting thing between being a confident person and being an egotist. Like, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself, and you get to decide what that looks like. And there's obviously something wrong with loving yourself too much or doing it blindly without considering how other people interact, how they feel, and how they exist in your life, right? Not caring about others is also not advisable, but the way I have integrated this in my life in a way that seems to make sense is I am very selfish about just about everything. I'm single mindedly focused when I want to win. I want to win this tournament. I'm going to kill whoever gets in my way, and maybe they kill me first. That's just the way the game goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But as far as most things, like a community, or like making video, the rising tide raises all ships. I'm very happy for you to win too, as long as I win, right? So my selfish approach is more of a seeking win-win than
Yeah. I think that's a good way to look at
zero
it because
sum.
I have a tendency to be pretty selfish too, though again, as I've gotten older, I think I've moved away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Um I've also, I think, gotten a little bit better as I've gotten older at being more vulnerable with my emotions. Because I will be honest in saying that I spent a lot of my teen years and 20s being really closed off emotionally, like being very uncomfortable with emotions. And maybe to an extent I still am. And maybe that's why people getting upset with me
No, I don't get
upsets
that.
me so
I don't get
much.
that vibe from you at all. You don't seem
But
closed off to
yeah,
your emotions at all.
That's I think that's something that I've gotten better at.
Hmm.
Really in like the last 5 years. I had some health issues back in like 2015, 2016 that really changed my perspective on things. And helped me grow up a lot. It's weird how like something like a health issue you can almost be thankful for it in the end. Because
Yeah.
it helped me see things differently. It helped me start to be a lot more grateful, expressing gratitude, counting my blessings. Like those were things that I was never really good at until I got sick. And it wasn't like life threatening or anything. It was debilitating, but not life threatening, not permanent, but just,
Okay.
one of those things that I was dealing with that was like not fun.
Well,
Um,
it grows you
and
up real quick, right? You realize, hey,
it
I'm not
really
infinite.
does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Uh-huh.
invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the early days, my husband was like, we can sell the house. I can quit my job. Like, you're starting to really think about like what happens from here. And that can be scary.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I've gotten better about that. I have a friend who's a therapist, and a couple years ago, she like said to me that she felt like I was a robot, and it like hurt my feelings a little bit. But like she was right a little bit. I think like there was a time there where being vulnerable and expressing my vulnerabilities was not something I was capable of. Because having feelings felt like a weakness, and I
Hmm.
was
No.
too, I think, egotistical to to let people know that I was like feeling something. Like that's where I had gotten in like my mid 20s, was like very arrogant, extremely egotistical in a way that was just like not healthy.
Hmm.
I had to be knocked down a peg or two, like realistically.
Sure. Sure. Well, I
Sometimes
the
that's good for you.
the way I think about it is we are forged. So the suffering we experience, not exactly what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but you know how a blade is forged, right? It's beaten and melted
Yeah.
and beaten and melted, and it finally comes out this beautiful killing machine, right? This beautiful weapon. It's almost a work of art, right? But that belies all of the suffering and pain gone into the creation.
Yeah.
So I really like the metaphor of people as the forged tool or the forged weapon, right? I am so grateful now for all of my suffering over the years. And when I was in it, I was, when I saw my darkest day, I couldn't possibly understand why, God or whomever you would want to personify, why they would do that to me. But now that I, look on it from the other side and look at the man I've become for it, I am grateful for that suffering, which is truly a remarkable place to get to if you can.
Yeah. So Pete, don't make fun of me.
Not at all.
I made a little list of topics today because I was nervous I was going to be boring, and I wanted to have a
Super
little
boring.
cheat
This
sheet.
this show sucks.
So I have like stars next to these two
Okay.
topics that I really wanted to touch
Let's
on, and
let's
it
do
was
it. Yes.
it was gratitude and finding joy,
Yeah.
and grit and resilience.
Okay.
And so it's crazy to me that I feel like we got to these topics without me even consulting this little piece of paper I had prepared.
Grit.
We just naturally got there.
Tenacity. What is grit? What is
Yeah.
how do you define grit?
What you were just saying, like
Yeah.
letting the hardships you experience help make you stronger in the end instead of being the thing that breaks you down. I think it's so important. Um, and especially younger people who are listening, you gotta know that like you are gonna experience some really, really crappy things in your life.
Mm.
There is no getting around it. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
And you are the one who gets to make the choice. Like, is this the thing that does you in? Are you gonna crawl in a hole and die now? Or are you gonna do your best to wake up tomorrow and keep going, whatever that keep going looks like? Um, I so my brother-in-law died really unexpectedly last year, and it was like the most horrible thing. And I've already had some horrible things, right? Like I'm like no stranger to like crappy things happening. But like this one was like one of those things where you're like, "Oh, so like you don't survive this." Oops. Who was that?
It was Finley.
Finley. You have a trade on 4?
Sure do.
Good for you. Get
Well,
him. No, he only has 2 cards.
I
Get
mean,
someone else.
no, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, okay. I see what you're doing here.
it's not a great situation to be in, but it is the situation I'm in. So.
But yeah, like, last year was horrible. It was a horrible year.
Hmm.
But I knew even the day, like the moment I heard he had died, I knew that like the only way was through. Like you don't get to skip past it. You don't get to fast forward to the good part. Like you just have to let whatever comes your way be the thing that washes over you, and like you probably will be different on the other side, and that's fine. That is ultimately what life is. Like we're all just made up of these little experiences we're having. No one else is experiencing the exact same thing as you. And that's what makes us all unique and special. I think that was even one of your questions, Pete, was what makes you special. And it's
Yeah, I love that.
experiencing life,
Do you have an
you
answer?
know? Yeah, what makes me special is ironically the thing that makes everyone special. And it's that no other human being, living or dead, is going to have the exact same experience as you've had. None. Um, and those experiences are ultimately what makes you. And I love getting to know people, and it's why I like this show so much. Like you talking to the other players. Oh, I didn't even see that coming. You talking to the other players, I find it so interesting just to get to know people and understand like what's important to them and what drives them, and I just think it's interesting and it's fun. And like you said, like I am ultimately thankful for some of the some of the bad experiences because I wouldn't be who I am without them.
It's beautiful. Yeah, well, then, seeing as how we're going off the boilerplate questions, I got to ask my favorite one. Miss Poorly Played. If someone asked you if you were good at Risk, how would you answer?
I am secretly on the leaderboard in the top 10 under a different name, and you guys have no idea. No, I am good. I am okay at Risk. Tonight maybe not my best showing.
No, you did all right.
I won that one game.
The reason I brought
I
it up is
didn't.
because your answer had a nice segue to a promo for Mallorie's channel, which I think we should repeat because if you haven't already been sold by her bubbly personality and humble, insightful outlook, check out Poorly Played Risk. Obviously, we're going to link you. Do you have any aspirations as a streamer? Gold would like to know. Are you looking to
Um,
Twitch as well?
so I love Twitch.
Yeah.
If you are streaming Risk, please let me know. I usually look every single day to see if there's someone new streaming and I pop in. I think Twitch is awesome. I was just introduced to it recently. Love the interaction element. I think it's so fun. I'm legitimately not sure if it's for me though.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'd have the time to devote to it. I try to keep most of my Risk playing to the weekends, and keep my week free for like spending time with my family and my dogs. Um, so I do love Twitch. I hang out on Twitch all the time. And I think all of the Risk Twitch streamers are super fun. I also appreciate how many of you made me mods recently for a very small purpose of banning one specific person who I was in a ban war with. So thank you for that. You guys know who you are. If you need a mod for your Twitch, please let me know. I will ban everyone. I find banning people very, very fun.
I hate that. That's another way we're opposite. I hate silencing people. I would love it
I
if they would
unban them.
just behave.
I unban them immediately, and
Oh,
I ban
okay.
people for no reason at all. Literally, didn't like your username. You didn't say hi to me appropriately. You didn't tell me to have a nice day. Like,
Nobody
I
give
was
her
in
power. Holy shit.
I was in Spud's channel last weekend banning everybody. People were asking me to ban them, Pete. It became like a fun little thing.
Well, all
But
right,
yes,
Mallory.
please
The
check out my channel. Please
Yeah.
roast me in the comments. I love when people tell me all the things I messed up and how I could have won the game. That's like one of my favorite parts.
Well, I see those as being two completely different things. There's constructive criticism, and then there's a roast.
You can get real mean about it. I won't get
I
mad.
see. I see.
You can tell me that I have a face not even my mother loves. You can tell me
You got a face for
I suck
radio,
at this
huh?
game.
That's
Yeah,
right.
a face
Yeah.
for radio,
Face for
exactly.
radio.
You can get mean about it. I truly don't mind. Hate views are views, you know?
You know, I need to adopt this mindset because I think you're onto something there. All
Yeah,
right,
Pete, you just need to get some hate views, and then you're gonna have like
oh, I bet you
double your subscriber count.
I bet you I have plenty. I have plenty. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please give Mallorie a subscription. Go check her out on YouTube and maybe Twitch. We shall see. Is there anything you'd like to ask the audience before we end?
No, I just really appreciate this. I hope you guys like this. And please listen to Waiting on Your Best Behavior. I love these shows.
Yeah,
It is
I'm
my
not going to
favorite
stop.
part of Pete's channel.
I'm not going to stop. They are my least popular shows in terms of views, but I think the fact that they are long form makes up for it. The folks who like them a lot, and I definitely, more importantly, right, I like them, and I like this opportunity to get to know you better.
You're doing housework, working. They're great to put on, like a little true crime podcast.
All right, folks, thank you all so much for watching. If you are interested in supporting us on my mission to bring Risk into its destiny, there's a couple ways you can contribute to my Patreon. You can join my Discord, get notifications for when I go live on Twitch, catch the next stream. You can join our competitions, compete, learn, grow with us, make friends. It's all here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.